if somebody has been physically violent towards me, I would cut off from that person. I would lodge an FIR. I would take serious action, because then you're validating, you're justifying that behavior. कल को कोई और लड़का बोलेगा अच्छा तो अभिषेक भी physical violent था, ये तो cool है. Even Abhishek, even though I like him in certain ways, I think, you know, there's some honesty. पर वो बोल रहे हैं हाँ मैंने physical violence किया और बस खत्म.
One is the ex-boyfriend, one is the current boyfriend, and both of them just chilling and, you know, talking badly about the woman.
और ये कैसा है यार, अगर if I was Samarth, मतलब I would take it super personally. How is अभिषेक का तो चलो मानो उसकी ex है, वो तो बुरा बोलेगा ही ना, he's personally hurt. और why is Samarth taking it? वो अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड की खुद की बुराई कर रहा है बैठ के. ऐसे करके सिर घुमा के, and I was like, what are you doing? मतलब he's very chintu, but वो आया ऐसे ऐसे करके मैं ऐसे ऐसे करूँगा, and actually उनकी कोई लड़ाई भी नहीं हुई ऐसी मेजर, 1 या 2 हुई थी, उसके बाद वो ठंडे दोनों, अरे भाई भाई भाई, वो दोनों भाई भाई हो गए थे. No Samarth, no Abhishek, you first figure out who you are. She hasn't figured out. Samarth also started disrespecting her and started becoming कोई टिश्यू के ऊपर लड़ाई हुई, ऐसा कुछ हुआ. तो this is also a pattern. Is she going for toxic people? जहाँ तक विक्की एंड अंकिता के रिलेशनशिप में कि वो उनको बार बार अपने पास्ट के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, दैट इज़ नॉट नाइस, यू नो, इफ शी इज़ हैड. पर इनिशियली जब मैं देखा था बाहर से वो जो लड़ाई कर रहे थे बीच में, वो बहुत पॉइंटलेस लग रही थी, वो मुझे फेक लग रहा था. I like Abhishek, he's very sweet, he was very nice to me, but even if there was something, it would have needed time. It would have to be genuine.
If there's one contestant who had the most dhamakedar and promising entry inside the Bigg Boss 17 house, then it has to be Manasvi. But well, things don't always go as planned, and today joining us on Bollywood Bubble for a candid conversation is Manasvi with us, who's back from her short but sweet stint at the Bigg Boss house. Hi Manasvi, how have you been?
I've been good. It feels very like a dream, like ये अभी मैं गई थी और ये सब हुआ और वापस आ गए हैं. I was hoping to do more. मैं वहाँ पे गई थी थोड़े से, जिन लोगों को लोग कॉल आउट नहीं कर रहे थे उनको कॉल आउट करने के लिए, पर वो इतना टाइम नहीं मिला मुझे करने का.
I think if one word that comes to my mind when I talk about your eviction, it's disappointing, because there were so many other people in my mind who I thought, okay, they deserve to actually leave the house because they have come here to chill on a vacation and sleep. Unfortunately, they're still inside. Yes. Some of them were even nominated. How was your initial thought? What was it when you know got to know that it's you?
It was unbelievable. मुझे लगा था ऐसे, you know, मजाक, because he does a lot of jokes elimination के टाइम पे, जैसे पहले सना बोला, फिर मेरा नाम लिया, and I was thinking कि मजाक करें. So I thought that maybe this week they won't eliminate anybody because, you know, they didn't give me enough time, and my angle got overshadowed by Samarth's love story. And this is what Salman Khan said as well. He's like, listen, you were a strong contestant, and it's not that you didn't do well, you did very well, but Samarth's love angle overshadowed everything in the house. But I was thinking कि नहीं eliminate करना चाहिए था, या तो इस हफ्ते नहीं करना चाहिए था, because there were so many people who are like so inactive, उनका घर में कोई contribution नहीं है. So yeah, it was a little disappointing, but this is life.
Like who do you think is very inactive?
I think 4-5 people for sure. Arun, Sunny, Naveed. Although I love them, मेरे Arun and Sunny से दोनों से अच्छी बनी, Naveed से भी, but they are inactive. Jigna ji and Rinku ji, they're just cooking. उनके cooking के अलावा कोई contribution नहीं है घर में. Even I would say to some extent Neil and Aishwarya as well, because they just keep talking to themselves. तो ये 6 कुछ ऐसा कुछ कर नहीं रहे हैं धमाल. जैसे मैंने आते ही, you know, I called out Anurag कि वो क्या कर रहे थे. एक तो सबके बेस्ट फ्रेंड बन के घूम रहे थे, सबके बेस्ट फ्रेंड बन के उसको उनको स्टैब करना है. तो लाइक आई वाज कॉलिंग आउट पीपल. तो वो तो पहला था. फिर आई वाज थिंकिंग ऑफ कॉलिंग आउट मुनव्वर आल्सो, जो वो कर रहे थे. फिर यू नो, पर वो उतना टाइम नहीं मिला. चलो यही है, ऐसा ही हो जाता है कई बार.
You actually very rightly called out Samarth for not only objectifying you, I'll say disrespecting a woman on national television. You know, there's an intent when you're talking. If your intention is right, even if the words come out of your mouth are wrong, it's fair. But everyone, including, you know, me, everyone who was watching, we got to know that the intent was only that. He was trying to, you know, sort of put you down, objectify you, and maybe make fun of that thing, which I think was nothing to be made fun of. That was your work.
Yes.
You did a bold scene.
Yes.
It was incredibly good.
Yes.
How, did you feel like stopping him then and there and sort of making him realize, also because he's dating a girl who's also inside the house?
Yes. See, initially I let him go because he's I think 20 या कुछ ऐसे, he's very young. So I was like, ठीक है यार, मजाक के तरीके से बोला होगा, तो इतना मैं seriously नहीं लेती हूँ. And also he acts very cute and all of that. So it's like, ठीक है, एक बार बोला, जाने दिया. दूसरी बार बोला, जाने दिया. तीसरी बार, actually this is not a scene that you guys have seen. This is something that happened inside the house. Third time वो मेरे बहुत पास आके बोल रहे थे, अच्छा मैंने आपका scene rewind करके देखा, तो that is the time when मैं actually भड़की थी. तो वो scene शायद दिखा नहीं, एक प्रॉपर हमारी फाइट हुई थी. उस फाइट के बाद नॉमिनेशन हुआ था. दैट इज वेयर इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम. सो फर्स्ट टाइम, सेकंड टाइम आई डिडंट कॉल हिम आउट बिकॉज लाइक अच्छा ऐसे मजाक में बोल रहा होगा, इमेच्योर है करके. पर उसके बाद मुझे लगा नहीं, ये सीरियसली मतलब ही इज एक्चुअली ऑब्जेक्टिफाइंग एंड एक्चुअली डिसरिस्पेक्टिंग मी. तो उसके बाद आई वाज लाइक, एंड उसके बाद ही आल्सो नाउ टू मेक हिमसेल्फ लुक राइट, ही स्टार्टेड पॉइंटिंग फिंगर्स एट मी फॉर लिटिल थिंग्स. मतलब मैं दाल बना रही हूँ, तुम खा भी रहे हो, उसके बाद बुराई भी कर रहे हो. So it was like that. And खुद से he was wasting so much food, जो पहले ही food हमारे पास इतना कम था. And मेरे को सब बनाना आता है, ये बनाना आता है, वो बनाना आता है, फिर करते समय कोई काम नहीं करना. तो not nice.
Agreed completely to that. I also feel that a lot of women inside, including Isha, Ankita and you to some extent, did get disrespected at certain points by these men. Yes. But it was very saddening to see no other girl or woman was coming up to support. I mean, I thought to myself, these are all strong, independent women inside the house who have gone individually. Why are they not coming out and talking about it if there's an issue? Why is everyone just hiding in the back and having their little chat?
Because people are very afraid to, one, stand up against people who have big fan following or are very powerful. Like, nobody wants to take panga with Munawwar. Nobody also wanted to take a panga with Anurag, even though he was playing this double game. Because उनको डर है कि बाहर बहुत ज़्यादा fan following है, eliminate हो जाएंगे. या फिर एक भेड़ चाल वाला भी होता है, एक जो करता है सभी वो लोग करते हैं. They're afraid to like stand up. So nobody's taking that stand and taking that point because they're all afraid to look right. stand लेके क्या होगा, मतलब बहुत safe खेल रहे हैं लोग अंदर अभी.
I remember this conversation between Vicky and Abhishek where Vicky was sort of guiding Abhishek to shift his focus from Isha to you when you had just entered, I think the first or the second day when you entered. And there was a little clip. It was very funny because soon after that Abhishek did try ki kuch hoye. I think kuch hua nahi, so he moved to Khanzadi, which we are seeing right now. All of this is looking very fake from outside. Like, we know what's going on. We know he's just trying to, maybe he's doing it for his mental health, that I'll just focus my shift, but it's not looking very realistic.
Jalane ke liye. That's why I think, I like Abhishek. He's very sweet. He was very nice to me, but even if there was something, it would have needed time. It would have to be genuine. But you're right, he was talking to Khanzadi as well. और उनका already 2 हफ्ते से there's familiarity. So I think maybe it was not intentional. I think he was just trying to like, ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि ईशा मूव ऑन होगी, ईशा का बॉयफ्रेंड है तो मैं भी बात करता हूँ, पर आई थिंक वो मैल इंटेंशन से नहीं था. आई थिंक ही वाज जेन्युइनली ट्राइंग टू जस्ट, एक होता है माइंड डाइवर्ट करना किसी के प्रेजेंस से, चाहे दोस्ती हो, चाहे रिलेशनशिप हो, चाहे डेटिंग हो, पर माइंड डाइवर्ट करने के लिए ही वाज जस्ट ट्राइंग, आई थिंक.
But people are from outside, fans are very quick to ship people along. So they were actually, I read a few comments and a few posts on Instagram where there were edits of the two of you, where they were hoping something happens and rooting for the two of you. Do you think if you had more time, Abhishek as a person, you would have explored this more and taken it ahead?
I think he was very nice to me. Initially when I came, I was a little disoriented because it happens, right? So he was very nice to me. He was guiding me. I would have talked to him and I would have seen if there's something genuine between us. I would have no problems if there was.
Talking about, the wild card entries, 2 of you, Samarth and you, entered on the same day. As you rightly mentioned in the first answer, even Salman told the same thing. The focus entirely shifted to that. It was, almost feeling like a script to watch from outside, because these three were actually making them like they were making a joke of their own relation, because they were not, first Isha wasn't accepting it, then she accepted it. It was looking very funny.
Yes.
How, as someone who had just entered, how confused were you about this entire thing?
मुझे ये, and you know how Samarth also entered ऐसे करके सिर घुमा के, and I was like what are you doing, मतलब वैसे इसकी पर्सनालिटी इतनी छोटी और ऐसी, उसका नाम है चिंटू एक्चुअली, ही इज़ वेरी चिंटू, बट वो आया ऐसे ऐसे करके मैं ऐसे ऐसे करूँगा, एंड एक्चुअली उनकी कोई लड़ाई भी नहीं हुई ऐसी मेजर, 1 या 2 हुई थी, उसके बाद वो ठंडे दोनों, अरे भाई भाई भाई, वो दोनों भाई भाई हो गए थे। सो ऐसी कोई बेसिक लड़ाई भी नहीं हुई। तो जिस तरह से उसने एंट्री करी थी तो मुझे लगा था दैट ऑल्सो, आई थिंक दैट एंगल फेल्ड अ लिटिल बिट, क्योंकि वो स्टार्टिंग उनका मुझे लगा था ऐसे पता नहीं क्या लड़ाई होगी और पूरे हफ्ते लड़ाई होगी, पर वो नहीं हुआ। वो अभिषेक एंड हिम पैच्ड अप। सो आई वाज लाइक ये क्या चल रहा है, पहले इट वाज वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग एंड इट वाज एक्चुअली, मतलब कोई उसका कुछ ऐसे स्ट्रांग नहीं लग रहा था, वो बहुत ऐसे रैंडम लग रहा था।
A lot of people are also, you know, commenting that Salman and Bigg Boss this time, they are very biased and
Yes.
they are only focusing on a few contestants.
Yeah.
You know, last week when Sonia got eliminated and I asked her this, she agreed to it. She
Yeah.
said that, yeah, I felt even Salman Khan was not, you know, was not picking up the right angles and he was just focusing on a few people. In your 1 week long journey, how did you feel? What did you feel about it?
I don't know if like I can say that if Salman sir is biased, because I think he has called out some things, like he called out this Isha's angle. Bigg Boss तो बोल ही रहे हैं वो biased है, वो तो season ही है। मुझे biased, मुझे personally जो biased ये लग रहा है, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि you know I'm definitely, it could be personal, पर मुझे लग रहा है biased ये है कि जो लोग कुछ कर नहीं रहे उनको क्यों रखा हुआ है घर में, you know, तो मुझे उस हिसाब से थोड़ा bias लग रहा है, just because somebody has a fan following or somebody is an old established actor, मतलब उनको रखने का ज़रूरत है। उनका एक्टिव कुछ पार्टिसिपेशन है, 1-2 लोगों का सब खाना बनाने का पार्टिसिपेशन है, नावीद का तो लैंग्वेज भी नहीं आती, तो आई एम थिंकिंग biased उस सेंस में मुझे लग रहा है जिन लोगों का कोई रोल नहीं उनको क्यों रखा हुआ है घर में।
You know, when last night's episode was airing, we saw a clip where now Abhishek and Samarth were sitting together and they were sort of talking ill about Isha, that she's a liar and stuff like that. As someone who is watching from outside and who's watching since the first day, it feels like I am myself very like confused and all over the place about this, because one is the ex-boyfriend, one is the current boyfriend, and both of them just chilling and, you know, talking badly about the woman.
और ये कैसा है यार, अगर I was Samarth, मतलब I would take it super personally. How is अभिषेक का तो चलो मानो उसकी एक्स है, वो तो बुरा बोलेगा ही ना, he is personally hurt. और why is Samarth taking it? वो अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड की खुद की बुराई कर रहा है बैठ के, ये क्या होता है, मतलब उसका कुछ वो नहीं लग रहा है, वजूद नहीं लग रहा है, मतलब उसका बहुत ही वीक लग रहा है वो।
You know, Vicky is also being bashed outside. He's been called toxic and manipulative with Ankita, and people are, you know, sort of bashing him for not giving that deserved respect that she deserves as his wife. You were inside with them. How did you find their relationship? Because a lot of people are also saying that maybe they've planned कि पहले हम झगड़ा करेंगे, ये करेंगे and all.
I have that doubt. I definitely have that doubt. I also, yesterday's episode, Salman sir said ये लोग नील and विक्की बात करके आए थे, तो वो भी डाउट है, ये सारा इनका जो दिल के रूम में चल रहा है सारा प्लान्ड है। जहाँ तक विक्की and अंकिता के रिलेशनशिप में, I didn't hear it in the house, but I heard कि वो उनको बार बार अपने पास्ट के बारे में बोल रहे हैं. That is not nice, you know, if she's had. पर इनिशियली जब मैं देखा था बाहर से वो जो लड़ाई कर रहे थे बीच में, वो बहुत पॉइंटलेस लग रही थी, वो मुझे फेक लग रहा था. पर अंदर जाके मुझे ऐसा कुछ लगा नहीं. आई थिंक inside, as from my read in the house, I thought Ankita was more dominating.
You know, there's just this one issue that has cropped up this season wherein on the premiere episode, Isha was seen sort of, you know, putting the blame of physical violence against Abhishek. Now, that is something I think we all must take very seriously, because if you are actually saying that on national television and if the other person is sort of admitting it, then it's so unfair to every woman who goes through that in real life also, because the next moment you're going and patching up.
I had exact same opinion, and I think I said this in the other interview. How are people taking such things so lightly? how are these things not big issues?
Yeah.
Like, even Abhishek, even though I like him in certain ways, I think, you know, there's some honesty. But वो बोल रहे हैं हाँ मैंने physical violence किया और बस खत्म. You know, he also accepted कि हाँ मैं था violent. How are people taking this so lightly? And then, you know, if somebody has been physically violent towards me, I would cut off from that person. I would lodge an FIR. I would take serious action, because then you're validating, you're justifying that behavior. कल को कोई और लड़का बोलेगा अच्छा तो अभिषेक भी physical violent था, ये तो cool है.
Exactly.
Don't make it cool, don't make it relevant. Like, this is something that I have been, and also, you know, I have in the past seen some things like this. So I am very sensitive to this, and I was also sensitive when Khanzadi for no reason said कि he physically assaulted me. तो ये पता नहीं घर में ये physical assault वाला इतना lightly क्यों चल रहा है? इससे तो मतलब I'm very very upset. And मैंने बोला भी ईशा को, यार ये फिजिकल, मैंने एक्चुअली क्लैरिफाई किया, मैंने कहा अभिषेक क्या तुम सच में फिजिकली वायलेंट थे कि उसने झूठ बोला? एंड इज लाइक हाँ मैं था. तो वो मुझे थोड़ा सा लगा कि यार ये नेशनल टेलीविजन में कैसे ऐसे बोल सकते हैं? व्हाट मैसेज आर यू सेंडिंग आउटसाइड? सो दिस थिंग आई एम वेरी नॉट एब्सोल्युटली ओके विथ, फॉर अ गाय टू से कि हाँ मैं फिजिकल वायलेंट था.
Exactly.
एंड फॉर अ गर्ल टू से फिजिकल वायलेंट था, पर अब मैंने इसको माफ कर दिया.
It's almost like they're normalizing this thing.
Absolutely, thank you for saying this.
Yeah, which is so unfair, because
it's not.
As a woman myself, I see it and I'm like, what is happening?
Absolutely
You're setting a wrong
not.
example.
Absolutely not. हाँ, और स्टार्टिंग में उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ मैं फिजिकल, इसने मुझे फिजिकल असॉल्ट किया. एंड आई वाज लाइक अगर तू तो झूठ बोल रही है ना, तो मतलब ये तो बहुत बुरा चीज़ है, बिकॉज देन योर जो लड़कियां सच बोल रही हैं लोग उन पे विश्वास नहीं करेंगे. या यू नो बोथ, दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. लाइक दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई एब्सोल्युटली डिड नॉट अग्री विद फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग. एंड आई वाज लाइक नेशनल टेलीविजन में तुम इसको लेजिटिमेट कर रहे हो, इसको एक्सेप्ट करते हो, दिस इज नॉट राइट एट ऑल.
Do you feel Isha needs to just take some time out and be with herself?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is something that I said. I was like, no Samarth, no Abhishek, you first figure out who you are. Yeah. She hasn't figured out, and Samarth also started disrespecting her and started becoming कोई tissue के ऊपर लड़ाई हुई है, ऐसा कुछ हुआ. So this is also a pattern. Is she going for toxic people? You know, this is kind of legitimizing toxicity.
Yeah.
Not nice. I don't think so.
Yeah, and sort of again and again justifying it. But you know, Manasvi, with this conversation and even for the time you were inside the house, I felt you have a voice. You have a voice that's also, I feel, very similar to mine, because we are almost thinking the same thing. And I feel that you had a strong intent. Now, it was unfortunate that I don't know what went wrong after a week you were out. But if given a chance, would you want to join back? Because I think you have that capability to sort of call the wrong.
I will join back, and I will. If I give it an opportunity. इस बार मैं honestly, because एकदम से मैं गई थी, तो एकदम से you cannot. I thought it wasn't reasonable, because TV पे आप कुछ देखते हो, अंदर कई बार reality कुछ different होती है. So I was judging for myself कि reality क्या है. So I didn't want to call out people from what I had seen, because sometimes, you know, you can see stuff out of context and you can think that. But like, if I ever went back, I would raise stuff like this. Even though I like Abhishek, I think there's something very genuine about him. But it has to be said on national television. This is not okay. Correct. You know, this is not, we cannot legitimize this. Even like say Munawwar, people are very afraid to like call him out. I would call him out. Like I called out Anurag. You know, people were very afraid of calling out him. वो ऐसे double game खेल रहे थे, पर कोई stand नहीं ले रहा था, because he's got such a big fan following outside. So you know, I called him out. I called out कि you know मेरे room वाले सो रहे हैं हर समय. So like I think if I had to go back again, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it happened, I would now, based on my own opinion, start calling out people, not because something I've seen.
Fantastic. We do hope to see you back again, and thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you
All the very best.
Hello, I'm Manasvi, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble. I love you all.